Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Gmore Gals. I'm Elizabeth. We're in a faith collaboration today, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate Jesus' birth than angels. So I'm making 3 different style farmhouse angels. Stay tuned and be sure to let me know which one's your favorite. So here's a sneak peek of what I'm using to make my angels. 2 of the angels are made from the styrofoam cones. 1 is going to be made from the Christmas tree. I'm using 3 of the jingle blocks and then 3 of the styrofoam round little balls for their heads. And all of this came from the Dollar Tree. The first angel, I'm going to make this like outdoorsy kind of natural farmhouse looking angel. All I did was I spray painted the styrofoam. I believe it's called an espresso brown. And this is the one I wanted to make this other one look like metal or silver. So I was just trying to show you here with using a spray paint on the styrofoam, you have to do it really lightly or it will indent there like this one did. If you don't want to oversaturate it, you just have to do it really light or real light-handed. Don't be heavy-handed with the spray paint or it will make it indented. But the brown did great. It covered it really good. Didn't do that kind of indented part on that one. So I guess I used just the right amount on that one. So to make the natural look, all I'm doing is I have lots of crepe myrtle branches outside or bushes outside. So I just clip some of the branches off. I'm going to use my glue gun to hot glue these around the body part of the angel. Now, I'm an outdoorsy kind of person. I love being outdoors. I love gardening and being outside. So I really like this angel, and I really like that kind of rustic look for Christmas ornaments. But then once I made the farmhouse one with the plaid, I really love that one. But my daughter really loves the white one, so one of my girls does. So be sure that you tell me which one of the angels is your favorite one, which we get them all finished here. So after I glued all of my branches around, you can see there's a couple little gaps in between there. So I'm just taking some of this moss from the Dollar Tree, and I'm putting a little bit of the Mod Podge down around with the paintbrush and just kind of filling in with the moss I was wanting to kind of cover the bottom almost like she has or like the angel has kind of like a little grassy skirt type effect down around the bottom. But then I'm also going to add a little bit anywhere there's a little bit of gaps in there or anywhere you could see a little bit of the glue from the glue gun. I spray painted the angel's head the espresso shade of brown. Just also want to be really light-handed or really light when you're using the spray paint. I'm using some antique white wax here, or the white wax, not the antique wax, the white wax on the head here just to break up the shading a little bit. I did use some of the brown or the antique wax on the body of the angel. Some of the branches were a little bit lighter than other ones, so I just went over some of those lighter ones with a little bit of the wax to kind of make the shading look a little bit more of that nice rustic brown shade that I was looking for. Now what I'm going to use is the wings here. I'm using these. This is some garland that I got from the Dollar Tree. I had these from Valentine's Day last year. I think there was like 5 or 6 of these little hearts in a pack. So all I'm going to do is hot glue these on, and this is going to be the wings for my angel. For the angel's halo, I'm going to use some Spanish moss. I'm just twisting it. If you'll twist it a little bit, it'll kind of stay together better. I'm just going to make a basic little halo, and then I'm going to glue that on with hot glue. And you also want to use the hot glue kind of sparingly up against the styrofoam because it will do the same thing like the spray paint does. If it gets too much of that heat all at one time or too much kind of wetness on it, it will kind of indent your styrofoam. So just go easy with any kind of heat or any kind of the wetness from the spray paint. So for the front here, the reason I used a jingle block was just to kind of give more like a breast or upper body part here. I'm taking some twine, just making a little simple bow, and then I'm going to use just some floral pieces from the Dollar Tree to fill in. I'm going to use a little bit of greenery. It's got a little bit of a kind of like a little frosted look on it, and then I'm going to use just a few of the little frosted red berries. So we're in a faith faith-based collaboration today, Peace and Joy faith-based playlist hosted by Michelle at Moxie DIY and Java. So if you don't know Michelle, she has lots of budget-friendly DIYs and some thrift flips. So her information is listed down in my description box along with the playlist. So check out and see what everybody's made in the playlist today. So my youngest daughter likes this white angel. This one is her favorite one. So I just spray painted the base or the tree part. I spray painted that in off-white shade of spray paint. And then I also had painted the Jenga block. And I'm just hot gluing that onto the tree. Then I'm going to glue the little styrofoam head on here. And on this one, I'm actually going to put the head a little bit more forward, not quite right on the middle of the block, because the wings, the way I want those to attach, the head was kind of getting in the way if I put it right on the middle. So it's actually a little bit more forward when I glued it on here. And I have two of these ornaments from the Dollar Tree, these snowflake ornaments. I just cut one of them in half. That's going to be kind of like the main part of the wings here on the angel. And then one of the snowflakes had an extra little piece here I'm going to show you. So when I took that snowflake apart, I'm going to use that around kind of the front part of those wings here. You can see it a little bit better. So this snowflake had that little piece there I popped off, and I cut that in half. I'm going to hot glue this onto the back, and then I'm going to glue the bigger part of the snowflake on top of that. And looking on the back here, you can see I glued 3 of those pieces. I glued one pointing downward and then 2 of them, one on each side. And then I'm going to glue the rest of the snowflake, the larger pieces, one on each side. And here you can see a little bit better, keeping the head a little bit forward. That allows you to be able to glue right up against that Jenga block and the other pieces of the snowflake. If the head was more centered on the Jenga block, it was kind of getting in the way where those wings couldn't touch that part of the wood. Now for the bottom part, kind of around the skirt part, I just cut apart pieces of the snowflake. I'm doing those longer pieces. I'm doing 4. I'm hot gluing around the bottom, and then a little bit shorter pieces, I'm going to glue those up around the upper part of the top part. And then I'm going to go back and glue a couple snowflakes on here too. So next for the halo, I'm just taking a piece of twine. I just tied a little knot in this, and I glued that with my glue gun. Then I'm going to take some of those little floral, the greenery. I'm just cutting those in little pieces and hot gluing those around here. And I thought red would be a really beautiful color to add here on the front of the angel. Since most of it's white, I thought the red would really stand out. So I'm just making a little simple bow here. I'm going to hot glue that on to the front part of the Jenga block. Then I'm going to take quite a few red berries. There's kind of a mix from the Dollar Tree. There's some that are a little bit darker, and then some that are more of a bright cherry red. I'm going to hot glue those on. And then I'm going to add a couple pieces of greenery, and then I'm going to glue 2 snowflakes onto the front of the angel. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I posted some of our Thanksgiving dinner pictures yesterday on Instagram. If you're already a subscriber, I want to say thank you for supporting my channel. So moving on to my last angel, this is the plaid angel. I'm going to show you what I started with, and then I'm going to show you how it ended up. That little tile piece, I wanted this angel to be like a metal looking angel, a silver angel, and you can see I spray painted the foam here. I took that tile piece and cut it into some pieces, hot glued that onto this angel, and then I spray painted them, but I just didn't like the way that it looked. It had too many of the lines, too kind of boxy looking on the styrofoam piece. This is the wings that I'm using, and you'll see that I also took part of that the tiles and glued those in there, and I didn't like the way that it turned out. But For the wings, I popped that bigger piece of metal that went around there. I popped that off. I just used a little screwdriver. And I really like the way kind of the inside part showing. You can see here on the outside, it's really smooth around the edges, but I liked it flipped over where you could see kind of the jagged edge. It is slightly sharp, so just keep that in mind. If you have any little kids that might be touching it, you might want to take a hammer and fold those edges down so they wouldn't cut anybody, or the sharpness wouldn't be an issue. But here you can see the tiles that I hot glued in here, and then I painted it, but I didn't like the way that looked. So I'm going to take those tiles back off. I just wanted you to see kind of what I'd started with, but that's not what I'm finishing with. And this is the angel with the tiles on here, but we're going to wrap this in plaid. I think look much better, but this is what I'd originally started with. And here you can see it once it was painted. I just don't like all those lines there. So I have some of the plaid vinyl from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to cut somewhat of a triangular piece and attach that to the styrofoam. And then I'm going to try to match up the piece a little bit on the back side. And then I'm going to hot glue it. I'm going to fold it down on the bottom and use a little bit of hot glue right on the bottom part of the styrofoam cone. And here's the wings again, where I'd remove that tile. It left little, kind of some little textured pieces, and that's fine. I think it kind of added to the dimension of the wings. I tried to scrape and scrape and scrape all that glue, but it just wouldn't come off. So there's a little bit left there, but I'm using some of the antique wax to go around here and give it more distressing around the wings. I'm going to use a glue gun to glue these onto the foam piece. Most of the glue is going on the bottom part of the wings to attach it. And I have these cute little stickers from the Dollar Tree, and those are some little clips from the Dollar Tree, or little tags. I thought they would be really cute on this angel. So I just used a little bit of twine and glued a couple little bows there. And then I'm going to use some red plaid to make a bow in the front. I'm just going to hot glue that on there. You can see there on the top of the angel, I used some of the Spanish moss again to make a halo. I'm just going to hot glue my bow. And then I'm going to take those little pieces of twine and run those up underneath the bow a little bit with my glue gun to attach the little cow and the rooster. These were really a lot of fun to make. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. Let me know which angel that you like the best. Check out Michelle's channel, Moxie DIY and Java. I want to thank her for hosting the challenge today, and then check out the playlist and see what everybody else has made for our faith-based inspirational collaboration today. If you don't know Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior, I hope you will do some research and find out for yourself and get the peace that nothing else can offer you in life. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Definitely leave me a comment. Give me a like. That always helps out my channel. Thanks so much for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. Thanks again. Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Gmore Gals. We're in a faith-based, Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Gmore Gals. I'm Elizabeth and we're in a faith-based collaboration today.
Start over.
Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Gmore Gals. We're in a faith